Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review You'll Never Find Me, and this is a new horror film coming to you from Shudder and writer Indiana Bell, and she co-directed this film with Josiah Allen as we focus on Jordan Cohen's young woman. She's a visitor who winds up finding herself at this trailer, an Australian trailer park. This takes place in Australia. And she's brought in by Patrick, played by Brendan Rock, who is the owner of said trailer park, in the trailer, and winds up being caught in this horrible storm. And they spend a bunch of time with each other in this poorly lit, really creepy trailer. And there's a lot of mystery, there's a lot of intrigue going on. This film's about an hour and 36 minutes, and for the first, say, hour 10 minutes of it, it is white-knuckling intense. The camera work, the choices from Allen and Bell on what to focus on, how to really bring the most out of it. Max Corkindale, who's a cinematographer, this film is perfectly lit exactly how it needs to be. The shadows, the lighting, it all works so perfectly. The sound design of all the rain and the lightning and everything in the background. You just have this whole entire sense of unnerving anxiety building and building and building. The writing is really well done as well. Every little interaction between Patrick and his young female visitor is important. It all adds layers. It alludes to certain things. This film is doing some interesting, very subtle things in terms of engaging with different ideas of microaggressions that each of them are having. This distrust in this middle-aged man, this distrust in this young woman who's out in the middle of the night all soaking wet. And there's a level of mystery. I do feel like once the film gets to its third act and what's really going on, it's still impactful, but I don't know if it feels as satisfying as what, like, the build-up. The first two-thirds of this are so expertly put together. It's just that the third act kind of it goes in a different direction, and it's still effective enough in what it's doing. There's still intrigue and complications. It might be a little too subtle in terms of like going through its motivations and some of the things that are actually going on, but the visuals, the horror visualizations that happen towards the end of this film are so impactful. And what this film has to say about this dynamic, this discomfort that young women feel in front of men, and what this man might be doing or not be doing that's causing that anxiety. And the performances are fantastic. Both Rock and Cohen do such a great job of bringing their characters to life in this situation. They make little decisions on how they sit, how they stare, how they react. And it all works so perfectly to keep building this up to the point where it finally blows off and we see exactly what's going on. It is unnerving, it is frightening, it is subtle in the way that it builds this tension, builds this horror, and it really knows how to use this claustrophobic space and dialogue to build up the scares. It doesn't need anything super big and fancy. There are some really impressive moments and some shocking visuals as this film gets into its climax. But in general, I appreciate how it's focusing on and looking at modern culture in terms of, like, you know, Me Too movement being a thing and the tensions in between men and women and what's appropriate behavior, and this film explores those things in such an uncomfortable and subtle way that it really works. It delivers an impactful and really hard-hitting experience that's well acted, well directed, well put together. This is a hot box thriller that's certainly worth your time over on Shudder. But those are my thoughts on You'll Never Find Me. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.